13 April 1919, a peaceful protest in Punjab's Amritsar turned into a bloodbath. After British troops killed over 1,000 unarmed Indians, men, women and children, on the command of one man, Brigadier General Dyer.
Fire!
The unprovoked firing by the British troops went on for 10 minutes until all their ammunition ran out. Roughly a month before that fateful day, the British government in pre-independent India passed the Draconian Rowlatt Act, which allowed them to jail India's freedom fighters for up to 2 years, even without a trial. The passing of the act led to widespread protests across India. Lakhs of Indians hit the streets and rose in anger, led by Mahatma Gandhi.
Vande Mataram!
The protests spread like wildfire and reached Punjab in no time. The people of Amritsar, like the rest of India, began openly defying the British. Freedom fighters Dr. Satyapal and Saifuddin Kichlu, inspired by Gandhi, led anti-government processions to protest against the Rowlatt Act. On 30th March 1919, over 30,000 people gathered in Jallianwala Bagh. Dr. Pal and Kichlu addressed the crowd.
Put national interest above your personal interest, but resist without violence.
The Hartal was a success, so the British struck back by banning the duo from speaking in public. But defying the ban, 500,000 people gathered again, demanding the ban on Pal and Kichlu be revoked. The growing protests and the evident Hindu-Muslim unity angered Deputy Commissioner Miles Irving, who conspired to create communal differences. Just 3 days before the massacre, Dr. Pal and Kichlu were invited to Irving's residence. But soon after they arrived, they were handcuffed and taken to Dharamshala jail instead. As the word of their arrest spread, hundreds hit the streets demanding their leaders be released immediately.
Free our leaders!
Free our leaders!
Marching towards Irving's residence, the crowd stopped near an overbridge at the sight of British troops. The troops soon opened fire, killing many. But that couldn't stop the protests. Around noon, another angry crowd arrived, and when they saw the dead bodies of their brothers and sisters, they turned violent. They threw stones at buildings, they set a bank on fire, they were angry. With the situation completely going out of control, General Dyer was called in from Lahore to take charge of Amritsar. He immediately ordered for an aircraft to hover over Amritsar. Show of our military strength should teach these Indians a lesson, Dyer announced. On the fateful day of the massacre, he banned all meetings and all gatherings of more than 4 people, and even ordered a shoot-at sight for anyone seen in public after 8 p.m. But defying Dyer, protesters announced,
Suno! There will be a meeting at Jallianwala Bagh at 4:30 p.m. today. All are invited.
Hearing this, Dyer planned the unthinkable.
They think they are the masters of the situation. Let us teach them a lesson.
By 4:30 p.m., as planned, thousands started gathering at Jallianwala Bagh, an enclosed public garden with just one exit. And that turned fatal.
Free our leaders!
As the demand to free Pal and Kichlu grew louder, an aircraft hovered over, giving Dyer an idea of the size of the crowd.
Tell the troops to enter the bag and block the exits.
Yes, sir!
Within minutes, the British troops got into their positions. The sound of the troops arriving disrupted the meeting. And seconds later came General Dyer's infamous order.
Fire!
After 10 long minutes of sheer massacre, the festival of Baisakhi turned into a bloodbath. The Jallianwala Bagh Massacre stared India in the face. The horrific tragedy led to Ravindranath renouncing his British knighthood and Gandhi returning his Kaisar-e-Hind medal. The massacre rekindled India's freedom movement and the call for Purna Swaraj grew louder than ever.
Act was not to disperse, but to punish the Indians for their disobedience.
Despite openly justifying his stance and multiple inquiries set up, Dyer was only asked to resign, never jailed. He later suffered several strokes and partial paralysis, and 8 years after the massacre, died in 1927.